bigger fish is this? And is this what we're expecting to say, meet the right people?
This is what, so, the G20 doesn't even start until Saturday, I think. And so he has, or is it later today or is it tomorrow? Anyway, he's ahead of schedule. And he's meeting with, he's there. I think they have some quotes where he was saying that, look, I'm here for business. This is what we wanted him to do, right? We didn't want any wasting of time. He was there with the Minister of Finance and the Minister of Trade and Investment. And the conglomerates, I think they're in automobiles, they're in energy, that is the Hinduja group. And, this is what we want to see, and this is what we want to hear. The president basically said, I'm here for business. We want to get things moving. He directed the Minister of Finance and Trade and Investment to follow up with the Hinduja Group CEO, and we'll get more details on what exactly is going to come of this meeting. But the optics are encouraging because at least, I don't even know, I think the moment he landed, he went straight to go and meet him because it's only just the day before that he was taking off from Nigeria, from Abuja. So this is, and really, going forward, we want these type of things to be spearheaded by the ministers. So we want the ministers to continue this type of drive. So hopefully we see more meetings taking place. We get more details of what it is they're discussing. But if you want to court investors, it's a courtship, right? It's up to them whether they decide to bring their money to your country. They're going to have concerns about a number of things from insecurity to energy and so on and so forth. So, but this is what we want to see. At the end of the day, it's their choice whether they decide to put money in your country or not. They can tell you one thing and not do it, but at least let's see you try, right? Let's see you working. Let's see you going there to meet these potential investors. And this company has, I don't know, it's in the billions, right? This Prakash Gopichand is a billionaire, so a dollar billionaire. So it's encouraging. I want to see more of this from the president, from this administration.
And looking at this, for me, it tells me something about the advanced party of the president. For him to have landed and instantly walks into this kind of engagement with someone of this kind of connection, for me, it speaks a great deal compared to what we had when they had to go to France and then the absence of ministers. So would you say the effect of having ministers on ground compared to when the ministers were not on ground? Is it clear now?
It makes everything clear because the ministers have portfolios, and those portfolios the meetings are guided by the portfolios, right? So you for a discussion like this, it can't be the president meeting with people all the time. He's spearheading it as the leader, but you have a minister which basically has a job to do in a particular field. And so that gives it direction and gives it guidance. And for this to have happened the moment he landed means that some phone calls were made before he even left. So that is what you wanted. That shows you that, okay, they planned this thing, they already made it, I'm coming to your town, or let's talk business when I get there, so on and so forth. So it's organized. It's, my own thing is now, what is the outcome? What do we get? What do we hear from more? But this is, look, at the end of the day, you can only try. And as long as you're trying and we see that you're trying, even if you don't get any money, at least you tried. And we saw you go there to go and talk to people. And, so that's the main thing.
Well, it gives me a feel of it's a Rotus who probably hits the town, let's say, hits somewhere in Netherlands, and then he puts out a message and say, hey, Netherlands, I'm in town. Who's in town? Drop location.
Let's talk business.
Let's talk business. So, Rotus, let's go on to this next one. Let's wish them the best of it, because we understand. Could it be that when the summit starts, it will be so fast that you will not have time to conclude? So the earlier you get there on time, you should be able to finalize all of this.
Exactly. Get there quickly, talk to as many people, make advanced, reach out to folks and get talks moving. Yeah. So you move, it's best to do it. I mean, there'll be more meetings, at the summit, on the
Yes.
sidelines. Once a meeting ends, exchange business cards, talk. So yeah, more of that. But just we want to see this every day during the summit. So that's how it's supposed to work.
No, take us to this article from the Business Day, which is saying that CBN would clear backlog of FX in 2 weeks, and then refuting the JP Morgan's debt story. We've been on this for a while now.
Yeah. So Mr. Shonubi that's the acting CBN governor, was at a conference. I think it's the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria conference. I think that's what it was. And he was talking about the FX backlog, and he said it to be addressed in 1 to 2 weeks. So that headline, I don't know whether, well, when you say I'll address something in 1 to 2 weeks, it may mean that, if there's a family matter and you want to address it in 2, that means in 2 weeks, I'll address this matter and see what's going on. I don't really think it means you will solve it, because that backlog is estimated to be, I think it's 10 billion is what is the Business Day wrote in that article. So I don't know. So I don't want anybody to get excited and think that they're saying they will clear the backlog in 2 weeks. Because if where's the money coming from, right? So, I don't know. Maybe he just means that we'll address the situation, and that's all I'm taking from that. Because if you had you don't announce these things, right? If you're going to address backlog, go and pay it off. It's like saying, there's too much talk. Just pay off the backlog and then let everybody know that you've paid it off. Yes. Don't come and tell me I'll do this in 1 week or 2 weeks. Just pay the money and let's move on with our lives. And let's know you've paid it. So when people talk, that's when you know they don't have money and there's nothing there. So
Rotus.
Just pay the thing off. Let's go on.
Okay, so Rotus,
money.
Let's expect the listener to get in the messages on any of this conversation we are having at this time on 0809-444-0981. Once again, 0809-444-0981. So far, we've looked at President Bola Tinubu arriving in India and going straight into a meeting with a boss in India, Gopichand of the Hinduja group, also to see how they can get foreign investments in. And of course, Rotus has just shared his thought on CBN's plan to clear, or the report that they'll clear FX backlog in 2 weeks, and then also refuting JP Morgan's debt story. Now, let's talk oil matters this morning. We can't live here without oil matters. That's the crux of the matter now. Saudi Arabia and Russia, they've said they would sustain their cuts, their oil cuts, still take it further, and that in itself has triggered prices now. So I'd like you to talk us through Nigeria's dilemma as oil prices hit $90 per barrel.
Yeah, so oil hitting $90 a barrel for the first time since November of last year. Saudi Arabia said they want to support prices by cutting supply. So basic demand supply dynamic by making it more scarce, they're pushing up prices. Russia also saying that they will extend their own. I think Saudi's zone was 1 million barrels per day. Russia's zone was 300,000 barrels per day or so. So they're taking off oil off the markets. That has caused prices to push up. So the dilemma for Nigeria, of course, is a double-edged sword, because we don't have refineries and we don't refine our own crude. We have to import from overseas. And of course, there's an FX dynamic to that. It gulps a lot of our FX that we have, which is, as you know, scarce now. So it makes it expensive, especially the landing costs. So that now means that as crude prices grow up, they've deregulated the downstream sector. Fuel subsidies are supposedly gone, but now I know they're talking of not allowing prices to rise, whatever. It basically means we're going to be paying more for fuel. But then on the flip side, it means Nigeria earns more revenue because oil prices are going up. So that's the balance. That's the dilemma.
But then we're not meeting our OPEC quota this time. That's something else again to look at. Right.
And so we just, what is it now? ENI is the latest oil and gas major to say it's selling off its onshore assets and focusing on deep water, in addition to ExxonMobil, even Shell. So they are all facing issues. The aging infrastructure, the pipeline vandalism, oil theft, all these challenges are still there. So that is something that it has to be addressed. And the second quarter of this year, I think we're doing 1.2 million barrels per day. And this is a country that used to do 2.1. So we are way off. We need to increase that. Because if again, as you said, that's the crux of the matter. It allows you to defend your currency. It is the major FX earner for the country, the major source of government revenue. So you've got to make it a priority.
I just marvel most times. I look at Saudi Arabia now. The country is going to cut, just in layman's term now, you're cutting supplies to the market. So that there would not be surplus in the market now, so as to raise prices. Here we are even yet to meet up the quota. We can't even begin to flex muscle even as oil producer.
Speaking of flex muscle, Saudi Arabia, the Arab world, the Middle East, look at what they've done hosting the World Cup. They bought their own British English football clubs. They are going to golf now. You see all these big stars. Ronaldo plays in Saudi Arabia. I think what's this guy's name that left from Barcelona?
Neymar is gone.
Neymar, thank you. I mean, I think Benzema has gone there. You were talking about flexing. Oil money is what has made all this possible. They're now using their oil money to diversify. I mean, it's just, it's a real shame that Nigeria, what could have been, but,
Rotus, our clients are waiting already with the messages. So let's see. So yeah, there are clients. So Austin from Satellite says, good morning. The problem of Nigeria is insecurity. Let the government stop the killings and those that think that Nigeria belongs to them, retrace their step. Then foreign investors will come to Nigeria naturally. That's what he's saying. Then Emeka from Ikeja says, what manner of investment in India when we don't fix our oil refineries? It also echoes what you just mentioned. This is the mere business posturing. That's all he says. You see, this will end up as. And then I've got this one in here from Babatunde Alao. It says, acting CBN governor should not make any announcement. What we want is outputs. Tinubu landed in India. We have had series of meetings and only hope this will bring goodies to Nigeria. Babatunde Alao. And Tayo comes in with our final message this morning. Oh, Yinka Bolu, I know. When are we going to Saudi Arabia to earn this money? Rotus, this question is for you from Tayo. And finally, Yinka Bolu comes up and he says, Yinka Bolu is excited about this. He said, this feels good to be called a client. So Rotus, what do we do? So they are clients, that's what it means.
They are clients, no more listeners. It's not listeners, it's clients going for.
Rotus, definitely there'll be some persons who would ask for your handles, and then let's know how they can follow you there and close.
Okay, yeah. So at Rotan Quotes, ROTANKWOT, and of course at Smooth 91 FM as well. So tag us both.
All right, it's a wrap on the show this morning, Business Express. Rotus, you'll be here bright and early tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. See you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much. Thanks for all the messages.
Have a great day.
All right.
And that's a wrap on the show this morning, Business Express. My name is Omatseye Atsenuwa. Good morning. Brought to you by